Welcome. Today, we are exploring a critical but often overlooked foundation of generative AI, cost drivers, and ROI. Understanding how the technology works is only half the battle. Knowing how to pay for it, optimize it, and prove its value is what truly drives business transformation. Let's get started. Generative AI represents a massive shift from traditional artificial intelligence. Instead of just predicting outcomes or classifying data, we are now generating entirely new content using massive, pre-trained models. While this unlocks unprecedented productivity, it also introduces entirely new financial dynamics into your organization. Because these models require immense cloud computing resources, the costs can escalate rapidly if they are not managed carefully. In this training, we are going to dive deep into exactly what drives these costs, how to optimize them, and ultimately how to ensure your AI initiatives deliver a massive return on investment. Let's look at this diagram to visualize the shift. On the top path, traditional AI takes data and predicts patterns. But on the bottom path, generative AI creates entirely new outputs like text and code. This magic happens inside the cloud compute node, which acts as the engine. However, that engine requires fuel, leading us directly into our new cost paradigms. Understanding this flow is your first step toward mastering AI economics. To understand generative AI costs, we must first understand its fundamental currency, the token. Tokens are simply units of text processed by AI models. Every time a user sends a prompt, and every time the model generates a response, tokens are consumed. This is absolutely critical because tokens are a direct cost driver, especially in platforms like Azure AI, where pricing for inference or usage is strictly token-based. The larger your prompt and the longer the AI's output, the more tokens you burn, which directly increases your bill. Mastering token economics is the key to scaling your AI without breaking the bank. This flow illustrates the lifecycle of a token. It starts on the left when a user submits a prompt, which gets broken down into input tokens. The LLM engine processes these and spits out output tokens. Notice how both the input and the output arrows point directly to your total token cost. You are paying for both sides of the conversation, so optimizing both what you ask and what you receive is vital. When you decide to build a custom AI solution, your costs will generally fall into 5 distinct pillars. First is model training or fine-tuning, which demands heavy, expensive GPU compute. Second is inference, which is the token-based usage we just discussed. Third is data preparation. Structuring clean data is tough, though utilizing techniques like RAG can significantly reduce these prep costs. Fourth, you have infrastructure, meaning the cloud storage and networking you must manage. Finally, talent and expertise. You need highly specialized, expensive engineers to deploy and maintain these systems. Balancing these 5 pillars is your operational mandate. Here we map out the financial anatomy of a custom AI build. From the central custom AI node, the costs branch out into 5 unavoidable pillars. Notice how model training and inference act as the core technical costs, while data, infrastructure, and talent represent the operational overhead. If any one of these nodes is left unmanaged, the entire project's budget can easily spiral out of control. Organizations don't always have to build custom AI, they can buy it. This brings us to the difference between Microsoft 365 Copilot and Azure AI. Copilot uses a SaaS subscription model, providing a predictable monthly cost without token-based billing. While tokens are still processed behind the scenes, the customer is shielded from the granular costs, making it ideal for quick, predictable ROI. On the other hand, Azure AI is a PaaS consumption model. It uses pay-as-you-go, token-based billing, giving you maximum control and flexibility, but requiring strict usage monitoring. Often, companies use both, Copilot for everyday productivity and Azure AI for specialized tasks. This diagram splits your strategic procurement decision. On the top path, buying a SaaS solution like Copilot leads to a flat subscription and predictable spend. On the bottom, building a PaaS solution with Azure AI offers incredible power, but leads to a variable, token-based spend. Neither path is wrong, but you must align your choice with your CFO's appetite for variable expenses. How do we justify the costs we've discussed? By relentlessly tracking return on investment. Generative AI isn't just an IT expense, it's a massive value driver. In fact, organizations that effectively embrace generative AI often realize a return of $3.70 for every single dollar invested. But this incredible return doesn't happen automatically. To achieve it, leaders must anchor their AI investments to concrete business KPIs. You must track metrics like process cycle time, error rates, and customer satisfaction scores before and after AI implementation. By measuring these outcomes rigorously, you transition AI from a cool science experiment into a core business asset. Look at the journey of a single dollar invested in AI. It flows immediately into our KPI tracking engine. From there, the value branches into three distinct outcomes: efficiency gains, revenue uplift, and risk reduction. When these three areas are properly managed and optimized, they funnel down to generate that powerful $3.70 return on investment. If you skip the KPI step, the flow breaks. Now let's look at strategic cost optimization. The most common mistake organizations make is throwing the largest, most expensive AI model at every single problem. This is called over-provisioning. To control costs, you must right-size your models. For example, a mini model is highly cost-effective and lightning fast, making it perfect for everyday tasks like drafting emails or summarizing text. Conversely, deep models have advanced reasoning capabilities and should be strictly reserved for complex, multi-step problem-solving. By aligning the model's capabilities with the actual complexity of the task, you drastically reduce your token burn rate. This decision tree should be used by every AI developer in your organization. You analyze the task, then ask, what is the complexity? Simple tasks drop down to mini models, saving huge amounts of money. Only the truly complex, logical challenges are routed to the deep models. This simple routing logic is the backbone of a financially sustainable AI architecture. At the tactical level, how your users write prompts directly impacts your monthly bill. Remember, every token costs money. In fact, the length of the model's output is the single largest factor affecting both cost and latency. You can drastically cut costs by constraining the AI, for instance, explicitly instructing it to summarize in 50 words. Furthermore, optimize your inputs. Be concise, avoid redundant instructions, and pre-process documents to remove useless boilerplate text before sending them to the model. Good prompt engineering isn't just about getting better answers, it's a critical cost control mechanism. Here is the life cycle of an optimized prompt. We never send raw data to the AI. First, we clean it. Then, we apply strict output constraints telling the AI exactly how short the answer should be. This creates an optimized prompt, which logically results in fewer tokens consumed. Ultimately, this delivers a double benefit, a lower monthly bill and a much faster experience for the end user. Let's bring this all together with a real-world use case. Imagine a global manufacturer that wants to use computer vision and generative AI to detect product defects. They smartly start their pilot on a single production line using a pay-as-you-go model. This provides ultimate flexibility with zero upfront financial commitment. After a few weeks, they prove the AI reduces inspection times by 40%. Now it is time to scale to 5 lines. To prevent costs from spiraling, they switch to a prepaid, committed spend model. This locks in discounted rates, lowers their unit costs, and provides predictable budgeting for the CFO. That is how you scale AI responsibly. This diagram maps the ideal enterprise AI journey. We start in phase 1 with a low-risk, pay-as-you-go pilot. Once the ROI is proven in this case, a 40% efficiency gain, we hit a decision gate. Moving to phase 2 for enterprise scale, we abandon pay-as-you-go. By switching to a prepaid commitment, we secure massive discounts and lock in predictable costs, making the project a total financial success.